Life Unrehearsed, brought to you by Lianas Senior Transition Support, specialists in home care and senior residences.
Let's talk healthcare. I want to bring in Marie-Hélène Laramée. Marie-Hélène is the president and CEO of the MUHC Foundation, and I'm very pleased to have her in studio. Marie-Hélène, welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
Thank you, Matt, for having me.
Well, thank you. You know, almost a year to the date, Marie-Hélène, you were in this very studio in that same
That's
chair,
right.
and you just started in your role as president and CEO of the MUHC Foundation. So how has the first year been?
Well, you mentioned it yourself before we got on air, but it's been busy, very, very busy. I pinch myself every single morning that I have the opportunity to do this incredible job to connect the community with the MUHC as part of the MUHC Foundation and to raise money to help better the healthcare for our community. And I'm doing it with such an incredible team of passionate people who just put in so much time and work and energy in making that connection. So.
Well, you were mentioning, you're right there with the researchers and your staff, and you're out there. I'm seeing you're really in a year just to be in your role, not only Monday to Friday, but lots of charity fundraising events and working very, very hard. And glad to hear the success that you've had in the first year. And I don't know if our listeners know about your personal story and how you got into philanthropy. I'd love to hear a little more.
Well, the connection is extra special because I'm a scientist myself, and so to be able to support our researchers in the Research Institute at the MUHC is quite special. So I'm trained as a mechanical engineer, and very early on in my career in engineering, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I went through a really tough time for a couple of years, but I made a full recovery, and I am very aware that I made a full recovery because there are people before me who came and who invested in philanthropy in healthcare to make sure that we have the very best research, very best equipment, very best treatments so we can save more lives. And so when I went back to work, I said, you know what? I want to take all my energy and all my talent and put it towards helping bring that to everyone in the community and everyone who's going to, our kids, and to make sure that we pay it forward and that we support that healthcare so that everybody has access to the excellence in healthcare.
Well, so just a perfect example and how a personal experience and several personal experiences have led you to where you are today and really giving back to the community and making a difference for the health and well-being of Quebecers and beyond. Talking to Marie-Hélène Laramée, she's the president and CEO of the MUHC Foundation here on Life Unrehearsed. As part of your role, a big part of it, it's raising funds for the foundation, and you've got a ton of stuff going on throughout the year. Can you tell us about some of the upcoming events?
Well, you mentioned PGA, so the PGA Tour is in town. And then we have coming up MUHC's Got Talent, which is a super heartwarming. It's taking care of the Beanfield Theatre on November 5. Basically, we're bringing on stage the healthcare workers who have other hidden talents. And they're going to perform on stage for the audience. And then people get to vote for their best performance. And they are raising money, actually, to support either their own project at the hospital or a project that's inspiring to them. So just a whole lot of fun. We sell out every year, so do go on muhcfoundation.com to get your tickets, and you'll see there a whole description also of the acts that are coming up.
That's coming on November 5th, right?
November 5th at the Beanfield Theatre.
Boy, oh boy. And there is some real good talent for that.
I was so impressed last year. We have singers, we have dancers, we have people who play in bands and they bring their whole bands. It's really fun to see our healthcare workers in sort of a different light and to see a more human side of them.
Yes,
definitely.
I mean, you talk about a stressful job and environment, and it's always nice to let loose a little bit. And it's very encouraging to say, boy, oh boy, there's life beyond just the healthcare environment that they're in, putting on a great show. All right, you mentioned the PGA Tour. As for our listeners, as many of you know, the President's Cup, a huge golf tournament. It's the PGA Tour's largest event throughout the year. It is right here in Montreal this week. It starts underway on Tuesday. In fact, I'm going to be volunteering at the President's Cup, and I was at the course today picking up the uniform. It's unbelievable. It's just 600,000 square feet of infrastructure. Very exciting. However, I was surprised to learn the PGA Tour made this incredible donation. I think it was $250,000. and they chose the MUHC Foundation. Tell us about that.
Right. So the PGA Tour, whenever they travel, they like to support the community where they land, right? And they wanted to choose a cause that actually touched the entire community. And so the MUHC Foundation was a logical choice, and they came towards to see us, and we had discussions, and they wanted to contribute to something that was also meaningful to them. And back in March, as some of you may remember, that the Quebec government announced helicopter evacuation program, and the MUHC was selected at the Glen site as one of the sites for a helipad. And so the PGA said, in professional sports, we do use a lot of helicopter evacuation. It makes complete sense. This benefits both causes, and so they decided to support that particular cause.
Unbelievable. Build a helipad, and nice on the PGA, and congratulations too. I mean, they had plenty of opportunity of different organizations to support, and they ended up supporting the MUHC Foundation.
Well, the MUHC Foundation does support the largest research institute in all of Quebec, and so it's not a big stretch to say that we do touch all the lives in our community at some time or another.
Wonderful. Marie-Hélène Laramée, we have to wrap it up soon. I know on Life Unrehearsed, I try to support as much of the MUHC as well. Tons of research. Can you perhaps just end it with an example of where the funds that donors donate to the MUHC Foundation, where a real life example of here's how it's benefited Quebecers and us Montrealers?
Yeah, so we're really, we have sort of three main buckets. The first being innovation and research, and we're really working on the cures of tomorrow. So it's one thing being treated today with the cures of today, but disease evolve, and we want to be there for the cures of tomorrow. There's a bucket of equipment. You can think about laser surgery replacing the traditional surgery. That's really helpful to have a quick recovery. And the other bucket is clinical care. And maybe an example I can give you there would be the breast clinic, and bringing all the services to the women in one spot instead of the women having to travel throughout the hospital. So many exciting projects.
Amazing. And wishing you continued success, Marie-Hélène. Thank you for taking some time here on a Sunday to be with us. If people want to find out a little bit more about the foundation, you have a great website. How can they reach that?
MUHCfoundation.com, but we are also present on all the social media, and that's where you'll get very lively news and pictures and videos of everything that's going on and the projects that you can support.
All right, Tara Schwartz and the whole team doing a fantastic job there, Marie-Hélène. Thank you very much.